Is pornography truly acceptable, or does it harbor hidden complexities? This fundamental question, often whispered in private, stands ready to be addressed today. As a specialist in urology and pelvic surgery, Dr. Anna Good consistently delivers valuable insights into sexual health, bladder health, urologic wellness, and a myriad of related topics. For those discovering this resource for the first time, a wealth of knowledge awaits, with new content unveiled weekly. Engaging with these discussions promises to enrich understanding, prompting many to consider supporting the channel by subscribing and sharing this valuable information with others. A candid look at a ubiquitous reality. Before delving into the core discussion, it is crucial to establish a foundational principle. No individual should ever experience shame for their sexual behaviors. This conviction holds true as long as such behaviors remain non-damaging to oneself or others. The reality is stark. Pornography permeates society. It is virtually ubiquitous. Given its widespread presence, exposure is almost inevitable, and for some, challenges associated with its use may unfortunately arise. Therefore, a comprehensive exploration of the scientific research surrounding pornography becomes not just relevant, but essential. Understanding its nuances requires a journey into the data. What, then, do the statistics reveal about who engages with this pervasive medium? Unveiling the demographics of pornography use. So, who exactly engages with pornography? Research consistently indicates a significant prevalence across demographics. Depending on the specific study and its methodology, reports suggest that a substantial majority, up to 70% to 80% of men, have either used pornography at some point in their lives or engage with it regularly. While male usage often takes center stage, female engagement is also notable, with studies reporting figures up to 32% of women utilizing pornography. The landscape of consumption is also dynamic, influenced by global events. For instance, a striking trend emerged during the global health crisis, with internet traffic to pornography sites experiencing an 11% increase during the COVID-19 pandemic. The motivations behind pornography consumption are varied and deeply personal. Individuals often turn to it to increase sexual desire, to satisfy curiosities about sex, exploring themes and acts that might otherwise remain unknown. Furthermore, and perhaps more poignantly, some tragically rely on it to learn about anatomy, a stark reflection of broader societal shortcomings. This reliance underscores a critical educational gap, as comprehensive sexual education often remains limited, if not mediocre at best. Given these diverse reasons and widespread usage, can pornography truly be categorized as unequivocally good or bad? Navigating the nuances. Is pornography truly black or white? The question of whether pornography is inherently good or bad, a stark contrast of black or white, lacks a singular, universally applicable answer. The reality is far more complex, presenting a unique spectrum for each individual. Therefore, an informed decision requires a thorough understanding of both its potential benefits and its conceivable drawbacks. It is strongly advised that a comprehensive examination of the various facets of pornography be undertaken before any definitive conclusion is drawn. On the positive side, compelling evidence suggests that engagement with pornography can foster a more affirmative outlook on sexuality. Individuals who consume pornography have, in some studies, demonstrated more positive attitudes towards sex. This open perspective may translate into a greater willingness to experiment with their partners, leading to potentially more satisfied sexual lives. The immediate, in-the-moment impact also holds intriguing findings. Specifically, some studies, particularly those focusing on women, indicate that watching pornography can lead to an increase in their sexual satisfaction and libido. Furthermore, an interesting dynamic emerges when partners engage with pornography together. Those who watch it as a shared activity often report feeling more dedicated to their partner and experiencing greater sexual satisfaction within the relationship. A common concern often raised pertains to the potential for abusive and damaging pornography to incite sexual violence. However, extensive research and multiple studies have found no direct linkage between pornography consumption and increases in sexual violence, rape, or assault. This finding challenges a widespread assumption, urging a deeper look into the complexities of human behavior. Given these potential benefits and the absence of a direct link to sexual violence, where does one draw the line between healthy engagement and problematic use? The fine line: when does pornography become problematic? While the benefits can be notable, there's a critical point where pornography use can shift from beneficial to problematic. Across numerous studies, a consistent finding emerges. Approximately 4% to 10% of individuals self-identify as experiencing issues with their porn consumption, or they may even label their behavior as a porn addiction. It's important to note, however, that medically, porn addiction is not formally classified as a disease or a diagnosable condition. Instead, professionals in the medical field typically refer to this phenomenon as problematic pornography use. So, what factors increase an individual's susceptibility to developing problematic pornography use? While watching more pornography naturally places one at a higher risk, it doesn't automatically equate to having a problem. The nuance lies in other contributing factors. Individuals who concurrently experience depression or anxiety alongside high pornography consumption face an elevated risk. Furthermore, a significant psychological component is moral incongruence. If a person deeply believes that pornography is morally wrong, yet continues to engage with it, they are more likely to develop problematic use due to the internal conflict this creates. Lastly, a crucial red flag appears when an individual begins to prefer masturbation to pornography over having sex with their partner or a real person. This shift in preference signals a potential problem. Ultimately, if an individual believes they have a problem, that self-identification itself is often a strong indicator that an issue truly exists. But how does this transition from casual use to problematic behavior manifest within the intricate workings of the brain? The brain's labyrinth: how pornography can become problematic. To truly grasp how pornography can transition into problematic use, one must understand its intricate dance with the human brain and its profound influence on behavior. Our brains are constantly bathed in a potent neurochemical known as dopamine. This chemical is essentially the brain's reward signal. It makes us feel good, driving us to seek out experiences that trigger its release. The brain is inherently wired to pursue activities that ensure the continuation of our species and the sustenance of our bodies, and sex is fundamentally one such activity, directly linked to fertility and the propagation of humankind. When an individual engages with pornography, the brain responds by releasing the very same chemicals that are liberated during actual sexual activity: dopamine. This pleasurable release in individuals who develop problematic pornography use leads to upregulation in specific neural pathways within the brain. These pathways become hyperresponsive, driving a compulsive search for more dopamine-releasing activities, often overshadowing other, more typical pursuits. Consequently, the brain begins to develop intense cravings for pornography, exhibiting characteristics strikingly similar to those observed in other addictive substances, such as drugs. A common manifestation is the development of tolerance. This means an individual might initially watch certain types of pornography, but then find a need to seek out more novel, more aggressive, or simply different varieties to achieve the same level of enjoyment or satisfaction. Alongside this, two critical behavioral patterns emerge: impulsivity and compulsivity. Impulsivity manifests as strong, sudden, almost irresistible urges to engage with pornography, while compulsivity drives the repeated act, regardless of the potential negative consequences that might ensue. Furthermore, individuals may experience a weakened executive function. This refers to the brain's capacity to direct behaviors that are beneficial and necessary for daily life tasks like attending work, maintaining personal hygiene, or fulfilling parental responsibilities such as picking children up from school. When the dopamine-seeking pathway is overactivated, it can impair this executive function, making individuals less likely to perform these crucial, normal activities. Lastly, a pervasive sense of dysphoria can take root, where individuals feel profoundly frustrated and unhappy in other areas of their lives when not consuming pornography. All these neurological and behavioral changes taken together can significantly erode an individual's willpower. It is important to note that relying solely on willpower is often an ineffective strategy for overcoming these intense cravings. Strategies for addressing problematic use will be explored in a subsequent discussion. But how do these internal brain changes manifest in an individual's everyday life, impacting their relationships and well-being? The ripple effect, how problematic use impacts daily life and relationships. When these profound changes are occurring within the brain, their effects inevitably ripple outwards, impacting an individual's real-life experiences and daily functioning. A noticeable shift often involves avoiding normal daily activities, preferring the consumption of pornography over spending time with family or friends, or even neglecting professional responsibilities. This prioritization can lead directly to social isolation, fostering feelings of profound loneliness and resulting in very few genuine connections with others. The financial consequences can also be severe, with individuals finding themselves spending increasing amounts of money to access pornography, potentially leading to significant financial strain. Moreover, and perhaps most painfully, these behaviors can cause considerable problems within relationships, eroding trust and intimacy. Beyond these immediate behavioral impacts, individuals may begin to exhibit signs of real mental health disorders, most notably depression or anxiety. This manifests as a persistent state of profound sadness or constant, overwhelming worrying, significantly diminishing overall quality of life. But what about the more intimate sphere of the impact on one's sex life? This is where some of the most significant and concerning issues tend to arise. The modern dilemma, impact on sexual development and real-life intimacy. A particularly concerning trend observed today is the alarmingly early age at which individuals are accessing pornography. Data indicates that boys are accessing pornography as early as 10 years of age. This early exposure raises critical questions about its developmental impact, a topic that warrants a dedicated future discussion on how it can be detrimental to younger children and how parents can effectively address pornography with their kids. These forthcoming insights will be shared soon, urging vigilance for new content by subscribing and activating notification alerts. The critical issue with early exposure is that younger children do not possess fully developed brains, making it incredibly challenging for them to discern between what is reality and what is fabricated. And here's the undeniable truth. Pornography, if one is not fully aware, is a fake product. It is not real life. It fundamentally misrepresents how normal sexual encounters occur. It is a highly edited product, meticulously crafted with specialized lighting, various special effects, and numerous other techniques designed to present sex in a manner that is vastly different from its true nature. Furthermore, a significant portion of pornography portrays aggressive or even abusive scenarios, providing little to no accurate guidance on how to genuinely pleasure a partner. The individuals performing in pornography are also far from average. They often possess above-average penile length, and special effects are commonly employed to create the illusion of higher volumes of semen. Moreover, in these highly stylized productions, male actors achieve immediate erections, and female actors are depicted as immediately lubricated conditions that are simply not at all what happens in real life. For those seeking genuine understanding of female pleasure or anatomy, previous discussions and interviews with experts like Lisa Mungeldas, Dr. Kelly Casperson, and Dr. Lori Mintz, alongside comprehensive videos on female anatomy, offer invaluable, realistic insights into how women genuinely derive pleasure. The profound issue with this artificial production of pornography is its capacity to severely impact an individual's self-esteem. People begin to internalize unrealistic standards, thinking, am I good enough because I don't look like that? Or am I pleasuring my partner sufficiently because they're not responding like the woman on the pornographic video did? This constant, unfair comparison can lead to debilitating performance anxiety and, for some, even issues with erections. If an individual finds themselves experiencing problematic pornography use, or if they are consistently comparing themselves to the fabricated scenarios depicted in pornography, These are significant indicators that it may be time to seriously investigate their consumption patterns. Future guidance on how to reduce problematic use will be provided in an upcoming video. It is hoped that this comprehensive exploration has offered clarity and understanding. Insights and feedback in the comments below are always welcomed. Remember, always prioritize self-care, for one's well-being is truly invaluable.